One. Hey everybody, thanks as always for tuning in to PDubs Arcade Loft, where we always appreciate it when you hang out upstairs with us. Got a really cool update here for you guys today. We're going to be talking about AtGames, and guess what? They're doing something really cool when it comes to Cloud Pinball. That's right, guys. Pinball AddOnX. Now that's a thing of the past, baby. AtGames has heard your feedback and has found a easier way for you to play your streaming pinball games. We're going to talk about all of that, as well as some awesome updates to ArcadeNet right after this. Okay guys, we're back. Now let's kind of run through this really quickly. So prior to Firmware 5.14.0, which is going live this week, hopefully tomorrow, Wednesday, if everything is released on time. And what's really interesting is, in the past, before that firmware, to play your Pinball AddOnX games, Leprechaun King, and all those other games, you would, Space Ramp, etc., you would have to, it was a painstaking process. Absolutely painstaking process. Agree with all of my viewers 100%, because you would have to go to the AtGames website. You would have to download the Pinball UCE files, stick them on your thumb drive, run AddOnX, then you would have to go and plug your thumb drive into your AtGames Legends Ultimate Machine, upload the pinball files to the virtual servers, and then start playing. A total pain in the butt process. AtGames has heard fans' feedback that they would like this to be an easier process for anyone to play, point, click, and play, and they're bringing it to us in this week's firmware. Note, you do have to update to firmware 5.14.0 or higher in order to access Cloud Pinball. Cloud Pinball is now being moved over to ArcadeNet, underneath the ArcadeNet setting. That's right, guys, it's not being taken away from you. It's simply being moved, and it's going to be easier to access. It will no longer be available under the BYOG menu. It will be under the ArcadeNet menu. And as you can see here, all you have to do is point, click, and play. All the games that are free for everyone to play are available. You can play these games. There's no subscription. There's no fee. Nothing of that nature. VPX games will always be free to play on the AtGames Legends platform. And all you got to do is click on the button on the tile on the game. The game's going to fire up and it's going to play. And not only that, we have some new additions in the lineup. So not only will you have access to play Skittles, Texas Poker, and Leprechaun King and Space Ramp, but you'll now also have Blue vs. Pink, Invaders, Junkyard Cats, Skittles, Space Ramp, Tempex, Texas Poker, the Leprechaun King, and the Leprechaun King team play if you wanted to play online with a friend. So now you have more VPX, virtual pinball, or future pinball games that you can stream onto your system. So how do you access it, guys? So let's take a look. So when you're under ArcadeNet, all you have to do is, you'll notice if you're on firmware 5.14.0 or higher, you'll see underneath the ArcadeNet free gameplay, which is the arcade games that you can stream for free currently while it's in beta on your system. There's a new option called Cloud Pinball. All you have to do is select Cloud Pinball and click on Install Pinball. And once you click on Install Pinball, it will install everything you need in order to run and access and launch these tables. And of course, you do have to agree to the typical EULAs for running these games via VPX, via streaming on the Legends platform. Everything is legit, everything is on the up and up, and these games, once again, will always be free to play. And of course, you know, we got some new ones in here. We got Blue vs. Pink, we got Junkyard Cats, we got Tempex. So we got 3 new games to play, as well as Invaders, Skittles, Space Ramp, the Leprechaun King, Texas Poker, the Leprechaun King team play. So there's lots of options for you. As you guys know, if you caught our Legends Pinball announcement from a few weeks back, we did say that there's going to be well over 20-some games like this that you could stream on your system. Now keep in mind, streaming pinball is streaming pinball. It's never ever going to be a 100% guaranteed perfect experience every single time you play, because it is streaming. From what I've noticed, my own personal experience is it's been hot and cold. I've said this a dozen times in my content, that sometimes it's going to work great for me, sometimes it doesn't. Can't wait to see how this performs. Now that it's on ArcadeNet via going the other way, is it going to run better? Can't wait to see all that when it goes live tomorrow. We'll see how it plays. But of course, as I always recommend for folks, if you are going to stream pinball, best thing to do is probably do it over a hardwire connection, as well as set your stream settings to low or lowest. Once the game launches, you just hit the menu button and switch it to low or lowest, and that should hopefully give you a better experience. We'll see how it goes. Very interested to see how all this goes once it goes live tomorrow. Unfortunately, I don't have access to it today to do any kind of testing or any kind of demo for you. With these changes, ArcadeNet is going to be going live soon. Giving us some pictures here to show you of some new menus and navigation and all that kind of stuff for when it comes to the new ArcadeNet. And when the ArcadeNet goes live on the Legends, again, AtGames has heard your feedback. Guess what, guys? You're going to have a new user interface coming soon. Now, in this firmware 5.14.0, the user interface for ArcadeNet is going to look nearly identical, in fact, almost identical to what it looks like today. However, in the coming weeks, the new user interface is going to come out, and take a look at these photos. The new user interface has a much more modern appeal, and something that a lot of folks have been asking AtGames to deliver them, and I love the way this looks. This is a much more modern appeal for navigating the games, and kind of like other modern multi-K devices, as you navigate, as you switch between game to game, the machine on the screen is going to change, whether it's a pinball game or an ArcadeNet game, an arcade game. It's going to change into an arcade machine with that game on the system, kind of like what we see with coin ops and things like that. It's going to look pretty cool. So I'm very excited. Now, that's not going to go live this week, but it's going to be coming in the next couple of weeks. So I'm super excited about that as well. New user interface coming soon from AtGames. They've heard your feedback, guys, and I love hearing and seeing that AtGames is paying attention, listening to all this feedback, and making the experience better for all of us. We're going from a pinball system where you had to do 8 steps to get your pinball games up and running to point, click, and play. Turn your machine on, navigate to the game, click A, and you play your game. That's what I want to see. That gets me excited. Guys, if you like all these updates, let me know your honest thoughts and feedbacks in the comments below. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. As always, give us a thumbs up on the way out. And as always, thank you for subscribing. Have a great day.